Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say.
Keep it together, keep it together.
I go on too
Yeah,
many days.
Desmond Ritter can't ball, so Bijan get involved. Try to mess with the Jaguars, but the task really too tall. The Browns suck, Saints suck, Bengals suck, Steelers suck, Pats suck. That ain't a ball, but that's all, huh? Tell them,
Can't stop, won't stop moving.
Uh-huh.
It's like I got this music
Yeah.
in my body, and it's gonna
Yeah,
be alright.
yeah. Eagles took it in the OT. All the charges good, I don't know, B. Dan Campbell in the building now. Now the squad never having low T. OD. Mac Jones headed to the streets sipping OE. Cause he ain't really up to par, son. 49ers made the card, son. Jets gon' break. And the Dolphins might be fake. So I'm just gonna shake. Yeah, shake it out, man. Oh shit, who this?
All right, welcome to ITL. We are back. We are live. I had to share that. Mark, great job with the editing. Huge shout out for that TikTok video. I'm your host, Ernest Silva. Welcome back to the Into Lab podcast and our way too early NFL Pick'em edition, Primetime Pick'em. We've got a doozy. We got a couple guests on the show. I don't know if he's a guest anymore, but we're going to announce him like he's a sports scientist. He's now been a regular all season. But let's jump right into it. And a special shout out to Blue Collar Media Group. That's right, powered by BCMG. Tonight's episode sponsored by Blue Collar Media Group. Season 5, episode 11, and we are on week 6. No producers in studio or online. So this is all back to the good old days of when I had to run the ship. So good luck to y'all watching. To those listening, it'll be a little bit easier on the ears. So let's jump right into it with our first guest. That is right. He's been on all season. He's been one of the sports scientists that's been around. Chris Borak. Chris Borak, what's going on, man?
Hey, thanks for having me back. Glad to be with everybody. Astros got a big win today. And how about them Cowboys?
Really, right out the gate. And a big old smile, too, for those who can't even watch him. He just has a big old grin. We're definitely going to talk Cowboys in round 1 today. Thanks, Borak, for that very early on feeling of remorse as we get started with today's episode. He is also a regular sports podcast. He's coming back from his injury, back in the starting lineup. Just Luke, what's going on, brother?
What's up, guys? Sorry I missed last week. Had some health issues, but I'm back, better than ever, ready to roll. Start picking some more games. I'm on a heater lately, it seems like, with Pick'em. So just glad to be back this week. Can't wait to talk some sports.
Luke, you're feeling better, though, huh?
I am. Feeling much better.
We missed you. You got to miss the whole Texans-Pittsburgh Steelers debate last week.
So there wasn't much debate, bud.
We were very glad to have you back, and we missed your smiling face. So those who can watch, I know they're going to have a lot of comments. Everybody missed you. Now, he's been on a couple of weeks already. I think he's just going to become a sports scientist now. But Chris Connor, host of the Last Call podcast. What's going on, Chris? Welcome back to the show.
It's good to be back, and unfortunately, I'm still feeling the sting for this Monday Night Football game I put money on, and God damn it, those Raiders screwed me. They're in Oakland, they're in LA, now they're Vegas. They still find a way to screw me. This is not funny.
I completely get it. I lost every single Texas team bet I had for the weekend, so I have empathy for you, but at the same time, I have no empathy for you because I absolutely emptied my wallet for no reason this weekend. So. I'm glad you're back on, Chris, though. Always a pleasure. It's going to be so much fun today. And of course, you may not recognize him if you're watching. All right. New face in the crowd, our guest pod for today. That's right. That is the infamous Shane Barrett. Shane Barrett, what's going at FF Shane B? If you don't follow him already, give him a follow. Those listening, he's got his smiling face on screen. Shane, talk to the people. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. It's been at least a year since I've been on here. So I am a new and fresh face to this and happy to be here. Happy to, I'll lament with you on the Cowboys. My dad's a Cowboys fan, so I feel that pain. You can find my show. It's Red Zone Redemption. And then I am also the founder of Polly's Playoff, which is a tournament to end Alzheimer's. And if you want any details on that, you can DM me on Twitter or join our Discord.
Yeah, we are definitely a participant in Polly's playoff. I am performing terribly in that fantasy league, but it's for a good cause. So I absolutely am about it. Shane, I appreciate you coming back on. We're definitely going to get your insight. We already had a little bit of a heat debate there with Bryce Young backstage. So
We did.
we're going to look forward to that conversation in just a little bit. But this is your group today, the five amigos here, going at it today in today's segment. Now, round one is going to be news around the NFL like we always do. And then we're going to go right into the primetime pick'em and talk shop with what we believe are the spread picks for the NFL in really the first actual day we're doing analysis. That's why we call it the way too early picks. And we'll explain what that talks about. Then fire round picks, as always, money line picks only. Who's going to win those close toss-up games this week? So stick around, all you betting fiends, and we are 1 week away from Vegas. ITL will be in Vegas next week. That's going to be some fun. And with the When We're Young Fest, we will be there again this year. So very excited to be attending that. All right, let's cue it up. And obviously talking to myself with no producers, and let's go right into round number one. All right, round one, news around the NFL is what we're going to. First off and foremost, though, bragging rights need to be talked about. The ITL Fantasy Football Movie League has entered the first quarter of the season, and it has looked a little trashy for a couple players here, but let's take a live look in at that league office and check the standings real quick. Borek is very proud, and he should be. He should be. First year of the league.
I don't know
And-
how I'm going to lose this league.
Borek is very confident. He has a good game.
Extremely confident.
This is a really good week, and I wanted to focus on Borek because Frank Labuda, our Vegas betting fiend, he is your matchup. You guys are both 4-1. He wiped the floor with me last week, and Londo and I here, producer Londo and I here at 3-4 together at 3-2. I think I saw Luke somewhere in here. Luke, who are you? You are the who are Mean Machine? Is this you down here?
Yes, that would be me. Yes.
He's in the cellar.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
I'm
down.
in the
You're down
cellar.
here.
Yes.
Recruiter.
I did beat
down here,
the
Steve is
general
here.
this weekend. So
Oh, Milwaukee Bears got his loss. You got your first win against Steve.
I got my first dub. I'm off the schneid, so we're good.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, it looks like as far as like the big 1-2 matchup, Frank Labuda going up against Chris Borek. I mean, Borek, your team's pretty stacked. When I look at the matchup, I am excited to see what happens between y'all. Well, we're not going to go through all that, but it is exciting. If you've been following along, Chris Borek is on his way to another first place finish here on this league. I'm doing terrible in all the other leagues, but at least I'm somewhere around the middle of the pack in this league. But as you can see, it's a 2 QB league for those who have been following along. You have the Stafford Wilson combo up there against Allen Howell. That's not really a debate there. But yes, so you can see if you look at Chris's team, why he thinks he has no chance of losing in this league. His team is pretty stacked all the way through. Borek, do you have any words being the leader going into the week 6 of the season?
No, I lost A-Chain this week, and then Richardson, and Aaron Jones has been out for me, and then I don't know what happened with Chris Olave. They haven't released a lot of details about his ankle injury, so I'm kind of nervous about that. But really, the only weak spot is my second QB slot, and then Waller really hasn't done anything all year, so that's why I've been so confident. So waivers has been kind to me, so hopefully it'll keep rolling. But everybody's been taking a lot of injury hits, so it's been a tough year.
Yep, I'm excited. So we'll see what happens. We'll check back in around week 8 to see how everything is shaping up. I think 8 teams make the playoffs, so almost everybody gets a chance for the dub here in the ITL Movie League. Thank you to all those participating, and of course, most of us talking crap the entire season here. So let's just jump right into things and let's just get this over with. All right, the Cowboys collapse was bad last week. Most people, including me, were just kind of background noise at that point at halftime, and you were just kind of taking care of household chores and enjoying your night with commentary. I mean, where do we start with this game? I mean, Borek, why don't you start, since obviously you're really looking forward to this game? what was your thoughts on the Monday night or Sunday night football disaster?
So I'll try not to take up too much time, but really, Cowboy fans really brought this on themselves. You guys hyped this thing up like you guys are going to the Super Bowl this year. We told you repeatedly on the show, a number of people, the Cowboys were going to get punched right in the mouth and they weren't going to be able to do anything about it. The Cowboys had struggled all year to move the football, to score in the red zone. Dak is who we thought he was. How many years do you have to relive the same thing? And Kellen Moore isn't even there anymore for you guys to blame him and fire him because y'all lost to San Francisco. So I wonder who's going to be to blame now. Maybe the Cowboys will realize Dak is not the guy moving forward and they need to make a step to somebody else. But they won't do that because Cowboys are too prideful. And it's just one game. And they don't want to make the adjustments necessary to be that physical team that can take down the 49ers. So I'm sorry, Ernest, but the season is over.
Wow.
Wow.
It may be funny to you, motherfucker, but it's not funny to me, okay?
That's right, Borak. The season's not over. We're not going down swinging like that. No, the season's not over.
Let me jump in here because I feel bad. I hate defending the Cowboys, but regarding Prescott, so who do you go to? I mean, do you
go to Trey Lance?
Or wait a minute, Kirk Cousins. Do you want Kirk Cousins as a quarterback? I mean, unfortunately, you can't go to Kansas City. Go, hey, we'll give you 3 first-round draft picks and Jerry Jones stake in the Cowboys for Patrick Mahomes. That doesn't work. So unless something falls out of your lap, you're not getting an upgrade over Dak Prescott.
Exactly why the season's over.
Here's my thing. Dak Prescott is going to be owed $90 million this year and next. $90 million, guys. Like, to not do anything for you. Anything. No playoff wins. No Super Bowl appearances. Like, what? $90 million is unbelievable. And here's my other thing, Ernest. Plug in the tape from Mike McCarthy all time from Green Bay to now. His play calls on 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 5 are the exact same calls. He hasn't changed, and it's not going to change. He wanted the play calls because he wanted control. Well, you have control now, and it's the exact same thing in Green Bay.
And
it's going to be 3 slants, and it's going to be 3 slants and an out. That's what it is. And it's bad because you're then you have Micah Parsons just being delusional on national television and on his podcast that you are pound for pound the same team. It's not the same. You're not on the same level as them right now. You're not.
Did he play? Did he play in the game?
He did.
So that's another point I was going to bring up. Is he had a bad game?
I didn't even see him in the backfield.
It's just mind blowing that from top to bottom how delusional it can be. Like, Jerry keeps saying that this is his guy. But what else do you have to see from the guy? What else?
Isn't it just a formality, though, at this point? Like, you don't have any other choice but it to be your guy.
I get it, Ernest, I do. But you have spent the money. You have tried different offensive coordinators. You've tried different head coaches. You've tried to rebuild this offensive line. You had the best offensive line in creation for like 5 years, and you still couldn't even win a playoff game. Like, I don't know what Jerry is thinking. I don't know.
Jerry doesn't know what Jerry's thinking.
And Dan Quinn got out-coached by Kyle Shanahan. I mean, out-coached. He makes you account for every single blade of grass on that field. And Dan Quinn had no idea what was coming. I mean, on the one of the first series, he motioned, and they had no idea where the motion guy was coming from.
I
They had
don't
no
think
idea
Mike
how to
McCarthy knows
adjust.
what motion is.
I mean, it was crazy.
No.
Like you had Kyle Shanahan. You coached with him in Atlanta. You the Shanahan offense, and he motions Ayuk, and it's like, oh shit, who covers Ayuk then? No, we shouldn't have that conversation in the back end. Like I know Diggs isn't there anymore, so like some of the communication lacks, but I don't think Diggs is saving you 13 points. 14 points. I don't think he's shaving that much off for you. It was just a dominant effort by the 49ers, and it was a message to Philadelphia that they're coming.
Shane, I'll give you a chance to give your insight before I decide to give my final word on this.
Sounds good. I disagree that it's a Dak Prescott thing. I think that this offense is completely archaic. Like I made the joke a second ago, they don't know what motion is. And Marcus Mosher asked a question today on Twitter, like, what questions do you have for the Locked On podcast? They brought in Brandon Cooks. Where the hell has he been? Like Brandon Cooks hasn't been existent. Michael Gallup hasn't been existent. After weeks 1 and 2, Tony Pollard hadn't looked as good. Like this whole offense has just been bad for the last 3 weeks. And so I don't think it's a Dak Prescott thing. I think it's a Mike McCarthy and a play calling thing. And I do think they missed Trevon Diggs on the defense, but like Luke said, like he's not going to get you into this game at all with them putting up 42 points. But like if you look at the comparison between 49ers and Cowboys, like I'm skipping quarterback because that's too touchy of a subject. But running back, CMC is better than Pollard. Wide receiver, it's probably closer to a push than I think people think with Ayuk and CeeDee Lamb.
Oh,
Are you wide receiver 2? Debo is so much better than what Brandon Cooks is right now. Tight end, Kittle is better than Ferguson. It's like they're better at every skill position right now. Bork, did you have a comment on CD and Ayuk?
yeah, I think CD is highly overrated.
Here we go.
Well, I think this is why I started off. Cowboys fans always, you guys always come out of the gate beating a couple bad teams and like, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl, oh, this and that, everything's fixed, everything's great, and then you get slapped in the mouth, and then you start coming back. And then the 49ers come to town, or you guys go there, and then every year you get beat down.
Here's the thing, though, right? So, like, let's just get back to reality here a little bit. The only teams that say they can beat the Cowboys are the Eagles and the Niners. Like that's
and the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, fluke game. So you have two.
Any physical team can beat the Cowboys. Any physical
You have
team.
two teams, like logically, they'll be in the playoffs because they're going to beat their schedule. They're going to be an 11-12 win team, and they're going to be in the playoffs. So you're like looking at playoff teams who's going to beat the Cowboys, and it's the Niners or the Eagles, right? So right now, the reason why you're saying the season is shot is because at the end of the day, if you're in the divisional round, you have to play the Niners. It's over. Like you're not going to win that game. So, but if you play the Eagles, right, there's a chance you're just going to lose to the Niners in the NFC Championship, right? Like you're not going to get past the Niners, is what you're saying. The season's shot. So,
well, can
like,
you guys beat
point,
the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, we could beat the Lions.
Okay. See, delusional Cowboy fan.
I mean, we beat them last year.
Look, I enjoy the Cowboy read, but let's not go overboard on the Lions here. I mean, it is Jared Goff. Let's see what happens when the crunch time.
Whoa! Hold on. So a team that can run the ball is effective with Ben Johnson and them in Detroit, and they're just going to add Jameson Williams. Like they're not a slouch either.
Guys? It's the same argument.
I get it.
Cowboys
but they are.
North.
I get it.
Like it's
but
the same
you're
argument.
running directly at the teeth of the Cowboys defense, and they can't stop it. They can't.
I
They
think what
can't
Luke and
stop
I
it.
are trying to say, like any team that is physical with the Cowboys and takes them out of just passing 50 times a game, the Cowboys
Good
are going to
running,
struggle against.
good running backs with no receivers or not multiple elite receivers don't do well against the Cowboys defense.
I don't
Ramondre
know.
didn't do
I-
well.
I-
We just
Paul
might
didn't do well.
disagree. We might just
Yeah.
disagree. I mean, I get it, but they play ball on both sides, and I think the Detroit Lions could beat them right now.
I didn't say
I
they
think-
couldn't beat them. I said that the Cowboys could beat the Lions. The Lions could beat the Cowboys. But to say that the Cowboys can't beat the Lions, that's
I mean, I'm not saying they
that's
can't,
They can't.
preposterous.
but
They can't.
I would say it's like 70-30. It's like 70-30 for me.
Isn't it? If you
Just
look at the
sheer
Lions,
physicality.
yeah, they're almost a JV version of the 49ers right now. I mean, they don't have the positional players as the 49ers level, but the Lions are structured just like the 49ers. They run the ball well, they pound the ball. They have very good skill players with Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they're just going to play action. They're going to run the ball 30 times a game. And the Cowboys are not going to be able to handle that effectively.
Me and Borak agree. So I
Yeah,
think that is
and
a
it-
win.
I guess my
if it's
counter
gonna-
argument is that when the Cowboys don't have to cover three great wideouts, it's easier for them to play in their coverage, and their defensive scheme dominates in the box more. And so
Okay,
it's
well-
harder for them to run. And that's
If
what
it's
makes
a
then
close
you have
game,
more
Ernest,
pressure on Goff.
who are you trusting?
Between Goff and Prescott,
But
Prescott, easy.
who are
head to
you
head,
trusting?
I've seen Prescott beat Goff in the clutch. Head to head. So I take Prescott.
Okay, that's fine. I mean,
Agree to disagree.
it's going to be a hell of a game. I know that.
Yeah. I can't wait for that one on ATL.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That's going to be great. Let's talk about other injuries besides my heart from this weekend. Justin Jefferson hits the IR, and that's going to hurt a lot of people who decided to ride that train, especially number one overall picks that really thought they'd have their guy. Not only are they going to lose Jefferson, but we're going to talk a little bit more about somebody else that the Vikings might lose, and that's going to be hurting even more. Are the Vikings in a spiral? That'll be a topic in just a second. But Justin Jefferson, check your lineups. He may be gone. Borak did mention it just momentarily, but AJ may be out as well. We don't know how high that ankle sprain is, or if it's. I think Borak, you mentioned it was a meniscus, possibly. So more to come on him, but probably not playing this week. Now, when it comes to other injuries, James Conner hits the IR. So those of you who have James Conner, who's been kind of pulsing your run game, that is something to watch out. And then, of course, the other two big ones at quarterback. I don't know if you're playing one of these, but you definitely have the other. Anthony Richardson, he's going to be out for a little bit of time, if not longer. Go check out those Gardner Minshew stockholders because that's going to come into play for you. And then, of course, Daniel Two Nichols, also not going to be a part of not going to be a part of the roster for much longer. Guys,
Ernest, did you see that he's been sacked almost 30 times more than Andrew Luck has been sacked? And he was drafted right after, like, relatively closer.
that's
You know what I mean? Almost 30 times more already than Andrew Luck. That's bad.
In fairness, I want to shout out to Bobby Skinner at Talking Giants. That offensive line is a train wreck. I mean, you have a rookie center, two guards who they basically picked off of a scrap heap. And, Evan Neal's playing terrible. Andrew Thomas is hurt. I mean, you could put like the reincarnation of Randall Cunningham back there mixed in with, Dan Marino's arm and Tom Brady's head, and he still get killed. That's a horrible offensive line. Like, it's a horrible offensive line. So I don't care who the quarterback is over there. If you can't block, I don't care who you are, you're gonna get killed.
Let's talk a little bit. We're going to talk about the worst team, and to me, it's the Giants, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But let's talk about the Vikings a little bit, right? Because to me, Kirk Cousins is on the block now. I think the Vikings start this spiral and trend to get the future back in Minnesota. Jefferson goes out. Who knows what happens with that injury and what that's going to look like as Vikings now start to trend downward and not winning, right? And how that's going to be with him. Now Kirk Cousins on the block. Rumor has it, Jets are interested, the Falcons are interested. Guys, for you, if Kirk Cousins go on the block, where do you want to see him? We talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago. Where would you want to see him now that records are kind of spreading out there? For you, Borak, where would Kirk Cousins fit?
I mean, if the Jets want to use him as a rental for 1 year, I mean, that would be a better fit than the Falcons. Falcons, I don't think their offense fits his skill set. But that's just me. I just don't see him fitting with Arthur Smith.
I agree. I don't see a lot of places that need a quarterback like Kirk Cousins right now. I mean, if I have to go around the league and think about it, unless there's a major injury to a team like the Rams or,
I'll give you
somebody.
And you know what? I know it's going to be controversial, and there's going to be a certain person who's going to hate me. But Kirk Cousins to the Pittsburgh Steelers, make the trade. Kenny Pickett's getting too injured. The Steelers right now looking, we could win this division if we had a quarterback. Let Cousins cook with our receivers over there, and all of a sudden you have the Steelers as like a dark horse to make it to the AFC Championship game.
I like that a lot, actually.
That's actually a good fit. What do you think, Luke, if you got the news alert that Kirk Cousins has been traded to Pittsburgh?
It better be for a box of Cracker Jacks because I'm not paying him $22 million. I'm not paying him $22 million. Omar Khan is the brain of the operation. Matt Canada won't be here when it comes down to it. I don't see Kirk Cousins going anywhere. I don't think anybody's going to give up capital for an aging quarterback, and I don't see somebody want to count against $22 million against their cap who are any one team that's trying to compete for a playoff spot right now. I don't see any team that wants to spend that to give up the capital, to give up the cap space for a guy that's going to be out of the league in, 3 years. Unless you have a legitimate shot. And when you look at the top teams, they all are set. And even the dark horse teams are like, if we could just get a couple wins like the Vikings did last year. The Vikings won 9 games by 1 score. Like, their season can turn around very quickly, So I just don't think somebody wants to give up the capital. I really don't. Not if you're in a playoff push, and especially in your divisions. I think the divisions are pretty much going to be set where they are right now. I don't think there's going to be much change in the divisions, especially now with them losing Justin Jefferson. I think Kevin O'Connell is going to be a very highly debated topic within the next few weeks. If they lose Kurt, if they start blowing this up, they already lost Dalvin Cook. You drafted Jordan Addison this year, but he hasn't really been a great addition so far. This offensive line isn't good, and the defense is Swiss cheese. So
it's been Swiss cheese for 3 years too.
They have a lot to fix, and I mean, if they can get something for Kirk, I mean, I don't know what it is, but I would definitely put him on the block. I mean,
I wanted to ask you that. Like, you keep mentioning the capital that it would take to get Kirk. What do you think it would take to get him off the Vikings roster?
3rd round pick.
I mean, you're probably talking a conditional. I mean, you're talking a conditional 3. Probably.
Dude, that's way too much.
But
what do you think of it? If you trade for Cousins and he leaves in free agency, you will get a 3rd round pick as compensation.
I just look at the divisions, and I just don't see a team willing to do it.
I'll give you a dark horse. I'll give you a dark horse team.
Maybe
what about the
Tennessee.
Titans?
Maybe
What about the
Tennessee.
Titans?
Okay,
Exactly.
I was going to say
Maybe
that's one of my two.
Tennessee.
What about Indy?
But holy fuck, they're old enough. Tennessee
Indy
is
won't
old
do it.
enough.
Yeah, why
Like-
would Indy invest capital in him when they have Anthony Richardson?
It depends
Because
on
he
the
tore
injury.
his
right?
labrum. Because he tore his labrum. So I
I know,
don't
but-
what
Indy-
else.
I could see a team like Tennessee saying, we'll make you our quarterback for the next 2-3 years.
But they're so old already, Borak. You know what I mean? Do you want to get even older? And then you've already spent Will Levis and who was the kid last year?
Malik
Well, I didn't say it was
Malik
a smart
Willis.
move, but
You know
it's
what
a
I mean?
Tennessee move.
Yeah, I mean, I think Derrick Henry can get traded. Yeah, exactly, Coach. I honestly think he could get traded.
They should. Yeah, that would be
They
the smart
should.
decision, but
They
Tennessee won't
should.
do that.
Yeah,
There's
they
no way.
should. But I would probably agree with that. Anybody in the AFC South besides the Jags, I could see, and obviously the Texans, they found their guy. So,
Yeah,
I mean, those other two teams, I mean, why not?
I think the Falcons do make sense though, because they've got the running back, they've got the receiver, they've got a tight end that they don't know how to use. They traded for
Two tight
Van
ends.
Jefferson that they probably won't know how to use either. But it gives Ritter a chance to learn under Cousins, and it also gives them a shot to win their division. Like that division, I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. I think Ernest knows that.
Yep.
Everyone else has hated on me for that for years, but the Bucs are looking pretty good right now. But they're not locked in as the winner of that division yet, I don't think.
Right.
To where the Falcons, if they traded for Cousins, they can make a push.
I think the problem is, and it's the same thing with the Jets, at least in my mind, is so Zach Wilson's already hurt enough, right? He already got replaced by Mike White. He got replaced by Joe Flacco. He got replaced by Aaron Rodgers, and he's back in place now. So you had Matt Ryan in there. You had Marcus Mariota in there. You put Desmond Ridder in there. And then you're going to go trade for Kirk Cousins and then attempt to put Desmond back in. I just don't know if it helps his development. It's probably
that's
tough,
why
at least for me.
That's why I don't think the Jets make a ton of sense, is because they've got Rodgers. Who knows if he's coming back? But if he doesn't, then you know Zach Wilson's not the answer. So why
at
take
least
a
on
one-year rental on
Rodgers,
Cousins?
at least on Rodgers, he's not walking away from $40 million. He's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
he's
he'll be
coming
back. It would
He'll
just be a rental.
But are you a Kirk Cousins away from winning that division?
No,
I don't think so.
not with the way Miami and Buffalo look.
I don't think so. I don't think they're a Kirk Cousins away.
So lots of debate. Any last minute dark horses besides those?
No, I
we
think
listed
those are probably the best options. Arizona ain't going to do it because they're tanking.
The Raiders?
So, and the Raiders ain't going to do it probably. But Devontae, I could see. He's not happy.
I mean, you
He's
could
not
look.
happy.
You could see the Redskins. I could see the Redskins making it if anything.
Whoa! Oh, he said it. Oh, he said the words.
Uh-oh.
He said the words.
He's on the
Cancel him.
petition now.
Cancel him. Oh, my
If you
goodness.
say that team, it's right on the petition.
Goodell is watching. He's going to cancel
The
us.
Goodell is watching.
Hey, Native American groups won it. Commanders is stupid. Commanders is like a video game thing. I'm not realizing that.
Oh man!
But no, the Washington.
All right,
If you're Washington, you're looking around, going, "I'm not killing." Sam Howell's not our guy. Let's see what we can do. Remember, it's new ownership. They want to make a splash. They want to get into the playoffs, and I can even see, Ron Rivera going, "Look, I want to save my job." So with Cousins, it's a functional offense.
I don't know. I think Ron's done anyways. I really do.
Chris Conner,
don't
you
think-
and I obviously don't agree on quarterback very much.
But is Sam Howell that bad? Like, was
No,
he
he's
expected to be
not.
that good?
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
Sam Howell is that good, in my opinion. So
Yeah, we really don't agree on quarterbacks.
we really don't. That's the funny thing. But so here's the thing with Sam Howell. Like, if you look at the people that have been sacked the most, like he's on pace to break the record by I don't even know how much.
yeah,
Their offensive
Yeah,
line
he
is
is.
hot garbage. I think he's got enough of the talent to propel this team to get to places. But their defense was hot garbage against Chicago on Thursday night, and their offensive line's been shit all year. So I think I agree with you, Luke. I think Rivera's out the door. I think they're eventually going to give Bieniemy a chance to have the reins or the keys, whatever the hell you want to say, and they'll find out by the end of the year if Howell's their guy or not. I think he's talented enough to be that, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think it's too early to tell on how. I don't. I would agree with the fact that you got to give him time to develop to see if he's anything.
He's basically a rookie if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with
Let's
that.
let's wrap up the on the block segment with Devontae Adams. Give me your one word answer on where you think he ends up post trade deadline. Luke, where's Devontae Adams playing?
Ooh. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Buccaneers won. Coach Peanut coming in with the Browns. Of course he is.
Gross.
Of course. Borak.
Ew.
The Chiefs need to give up whatever they can for that guy and then just hand them the trophy.
All right, we got a Bucks. We got a Chiefs. Shane.
I'm gonna go with Borak here in the Chiefs. It makes too much sense.
All right, 2 Chiefs right there. Chris.
As much as I'd love to see it happen to see him get traded to the Chiefs, it ain't happening. You don't trade away one of your best players to the arch rival. He's not going anywhere. I think he's going to stay. If it's something in the offseason, you go, okay, we're going to make some decisions, have more time, and try to get a first-round pick. They need him. For them to sell seats and everything, they're not going to give up one of the few players who they still think can, make an impact for the next 2 years.
If they offered you a first, would you take it, even if they're your arch rival?
No, because imagine that. Because that's the worst thing for Vegas. Like,
come on, Chris.
A 30-second pick? And, oh, by the way, we get embarrassed 2 games every year. No.
That's
So
going to
where's he
happen
going,
anyway
Chris?
for the next 5 years.
It's the longest one-word answer. Where's he going?
Nowhere. He will stay with the
Oh, he's
Raiders.
going to stay a Raider. All right, he's going to stay a Raider. He's going to go to the Jets. That's where he's going. He's going to go reunite Aaron
No
Rodgers. Just for drama. He's going to go back. He's going to go play with I honestly, I really don't care where he goes. But that's my segment on there. I asked the panel, this is where we're going to end our round 1 segment. I asked the panel, who's your worst team and who is the worst organization? I almost put a poll out, but we decided not to. So let's talk it out. If you have an answer, put it in the comments. We'd love to hear what you guys think. But let's start off with the worst team. Let's go around the room. Who is the worst team in 2023 in the NFL? I'll go around the room in order that I have on my screen, and then I'll go backwards. I'll start with you, Shane. Who do you have as the worst team in the NFL?
The New York Football Giants.
The New York Giants, worst team. Worst team. You want to give a couple lines on why?
Danny Dimes is your quarterback for one. Their offensive line, like we talked about earlier, is dog shit. Their defense isn't great either, and they're just constantly hurt. They're not coming close to winning this division or making the playoffs. They're the worst team.
I've got a question for you since you brought him up. If Daniel Two Nichols is out, do you come back and play football if you're Saquon?
No.
You just find excuses just to my turf toe.
Or I'm
my
requesting a trade.
It's my hammy, coach. I can't do nothing about my hammy.
All right. Just want to make sure. Just Luke, worst team.
I'm gonna say it. I mean, I'm gonna say it. It's the New England Patriots. You've gotten housed the last 2 weeks. Housed.
And
Okay,
switch
you got
quarterbacks.
nudie lapped on national television. You look bad. Mac Jones is not good. The offense is not good. You lost your 2 best defenders in J.C. Jackson and Matt Judon in the last 2 weeks in pointless games in pointless time. You are not a good football team right now. I am very afraid of what the future holds for Bill Belichick and this organization.
And their best player thinks he's a pirate. It's just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Comments from the thread. Arizona getting a bit from Coach Peanut. Coach Peanut deep in comments right now. They're in cap hell and too many holes. We'll give that to you. Of course, that means the Cowboys lost to the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Chris Connor, who's your team? Worst team?
It's the Patriots. And I know everybody here likes to make fun of Danny Nichols and the Giants, but here's an honest question. Is there anybody right now in the Patriots you look and go, I'd trade a 3rd-round pick for? I mean, maybe David Andrews, maybe Hunter Henry. Even
Hunter Henry, that is it. Hunter Henry.
Even that, Hunter Henry's a nice player. I mean, in the recent ESPN poll, there was no Patriot on that team who is a top 10 player in his position.
What?
I gotta call cap on that one.
I mean, no,
No, really?
no,
Really?
no. Dead
You don't
serious.
in the defensive ends, you take him over Micah Parsons or Joey Bosa or Chris
I don't think
Jones.
I can name.
I mean,
I don't think I can name 9 better players than Matt Judon.
Listen. I'm
Yeah, I would
agreeing with
want Judon,
Chris.
but
The
start.
last 3 All-Pro players for the New England Patriots, a punter and 2 kick returners.
Okay, I mean they're obviously top of their. I mean that's still. I don't know if I drop more than a third, but that's still top 10 something, right? I don't know.
It's just bad when you look at the Patriots.
They grabbed a trade, didn't they? Just get a cornerback? Wasn't there just
J.C. Jackson, who San Diego wants to basically get rid of? I mean, that's what it came down to. The Chargers were so down on him that they basically are paying everything except for $4 million of his salary. I mean, it's just a bad team, and unfortunately, you hate to say it, but Bill Belichick does not understand the current NFL. He's still playing 1990s power run, smash mouth defense. I can use a noodle arm quarterback, and hey, coaching will prevail. This is a new NFL where it's speed. Quarterbacks need to be mobile, and talent takes trumps coaching.
Man, that's a tough take. All right, Borek, who you got? Worst team?
I won't beat a dead horse. It came down to the Giants and Patriots, but when Ben Zappe is your current quarterback, man, I don't think the Patriots could beat anybody right now. I think Saquon could put up 7 points to beat the Patriots. It's that bad.
Yikes. So, Shane, I have to ask, Patriots or Sooners, do they had to go head-to-head right now?
Oh.
Come on.
I hate this question so much. It's the Patriots.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I won't go that far.
Any NFL team where, I'm from Alabama, like you can see the North Alabama shirt, but Alabama has been brought up in these conversations in years past, and it's like any NFL team that goes against a college team will wipe the floor with them.
Thank you.
They're grown ass men playing against boys. When it all comes down to it.
Amen. My pick was the Giants. I mentioned it backstage, but the Giants are the worst team in the NFL this season. I don't think it's close. The offense is just garbage. Their skill positions are garbage. Other than Saquon, I'm not going to put Saquon in there, obviously.
They have Andrew Thomas. They have Dexter Lawrence. I mean, they have talent.
Waller's not terrible. Waller's not terrible, but the offensive line is poor.
I think the Giants have some talented receivers. I mean, the Patriots have nobody.
You say Wandale and Slayton?
Okay.
Who else?
I'm not going to get in a huge debate over the Giants and Patriots, but I think the Giants have some competent players. Like the Patriots have nothing at skill.
Well, yeah, we
agree. Move on. It's just a bad time.
Yeah, let's face it. The Dallas Cowboys would trade 2 first-round picks for Dexter Lawrence. There's nothing they would trade a third on the Patriots for. If the Patriots said, hey, we'll give you Lawrence Guy, Jerry Jones would go, yeah, I'll give you a third-round pick. He'd probably go, nope, wrong number, hey.
I mean, the Giants haven't had 1,000-yard receivers since 2018.
You wouldn't trade a third-rounder for Ramondre Stevenson?
That was the name that came to my mind.
Fourth.
Oh, man, you guys are... Oh my gosh.
Conditional.
I'll send the third rounder just to get Zeke back, just for funsies. All right, worst
Don't
organization.
Say that. Don't say that.
Worst organization in the NFL. I'm sure there's going to be hot takes. This is where we're going to end round 1. Let's go around the room. 1-word answers. Borak, you're first now.
Panthers, not even close.
Panthers is not close. Chris Connor.
Yeah, I gotta go with Panthers. I'm always close to Patriots, but the Panthers take it because their owner's an idiot.
Luke.
I mean, I don't even think it's close. It's the Bears. I mean, you got the defensive coordinator had his house raided by the FBI and DEA, guys. Like, it is the fucking Bears.
Mark, we're clipping that when the Bears come back and win this division. We're going to clip that.
It's the Bears. There's no doubt in my mind. It's the Bears.
Shane.
I was going to say the Panthers, but all of this talk about the Patriots convinced me to switch my answer to the Patriots. They don't have enough talent anywhere, like at any position.
I really think it's 1A, 1B, 1C. I really do.
So my reasoning for the Panthers, and this may be the debate you wanted to get into earlier with me and Chris Connor, was Bryce Young is doing everything that I saw him do in Alabama that made me think he was worthy of the number 1 pick. He's processing, he's making the right throws, but his wide receivers can't separate worth a damn. And I don't care who you are. You've got to have at least one that can get some separation. And he doesn't have that right now. They have no speed at the wide receiver position that's consistent enough.
I mean, he's got a good skill receiver. Thielen is fine. Thielen is a great number 2, but he's acting as your number 1. And so that's tough.
Well, I also think that Frank Reich wasn't the answer. I don't think he doesn't
for a
understand
rebuild.
Bryce Young. He doesn't understand Bryce Young. He just doesn't.
Yeah, and the only reason I put the Panthers up there is because you gave away a first-round draft pick, and you don't have anything to build off of. Yeah. And then you made the wrong decision. You should have drafted C.J. Stroud. I mean, you messed up.
I have been on the record saying that in multiple settings, including the Last Call podcast, where you could hear that episode from last season where we said C.J. Stroud should be number 1. But good plug for you, Chris.
It's not just. Let me jump in quicker because it's not just that. It's that the coaching staff wanted C.J. Stroud. This is ownership getting involved. It's like, okay, eventually you gotta let your teams. The coaches coach, the GMs, pick the players, not the owner who does not watch scouting just because. Hey, Bryce Young might be the next Seth Curry. He's a 5'9" quarterback who's. They do not win in the NFL. You have to be at least 6'2" and over 215 pounds, not 5'9", 190. You get beat up and broken.
Hey, quick shout out to Coach Peanut. Like, he does have a point. The Browns are pretty stupid organization. They gave us 4 first round draft picks.
That is my worst organization. So I am there with him. I thank you for reminding me, Barrett.
Thank you for the draft picks too.
I thought that was tough understood.
But we all agreed not to talk about the Browns because we know they're shit.
Like 1A clowns.
But Coach Peanut brought it up, so I was just acknowledging it.
The Browns, 50 feet of crap, and then the Panthers and the Patriots.
Yeah, like I thought that was understood. That's my bad.
Sorry. Yeah, they still count. All right, guys, you stuck around this long. Now you get to hear where the money is at. Tune in right after this short commercial break and check out where ITL Pick'em is going. Stick around.
Jill going down the hill. Gonna go fetch Jack in his little pill. Jack feeling down and that's pretty bad. Let's go.
Oh! Yo! Clip that! Clip that headshot!
Nice.
No!
A pistol. What the Okay, that didn't count.
Woo! Let's go, baby! Clutch it up! Yeah, I like it!
What? No way! Did that precision just kill me?
Let's go!
Nice, Papa!
Papa with the clutch kill at the end. Let's go.
Oh, I missed. That was fast.
Got him.
Nice.
Man, I'm going to go steal their shit.
That is definitely green.
You're dumb and it's orange.
We're both wrong, red.
I could get that solo if I tried it a couple times, but we'll come back to it.
I'm fucking dick right now. Holy shit. Like, I fucking suck right now.
Yeah, I can tell.
All right, the BCMG stream team, go check them out, twitch.tv or facebook.gg on any sort of gaming platform. Coach Peanut, one of the captains of the stream team, tuning in tonight, talking about his Browns. Check him out on any platform. And matter of fact, Chris Borek and I will be in a fantasy basketball league with Coach Peanut tomorrow night on StreamYard. We're doing an expansion draft. Borek has joined that league. Excited to have you on board, Borek. But let's talk football. That's why you're here. This is where the money is at. The BCMG guarantee has yet to hit this year, which if you know by those odds, that means how many weeks are we? We're in week 6. There's 17. That means we still got about 10 more chances, and we hit twice a year. So if you're tuning in, you might be the money week. This might be it. So let's go on Thursday night football. Kansas City Chiefs, 10.5-point favorites against those Denver Broncos. Divisional matchup, so you know the points are going to be a little skewed. And let's talk it out here. We'll start with the guest appearance. Shane, talk to us about this game. Who do you like in this matchup?
I went and looked because I knew that Kansas City had struggled against the spread last year, and went and see just kind of how they were doing this year. And they're actually, other than one game, they've covered. So I'm going with Kansas City here, also because Denver's defense is hot garbage. And the Chiefs, even without Travis Kelce, I think will be fine because that's how bad Denver is.
So you like Kansas City with the points?
Yeah.
Awesome. Shane starts us off Kansas City minus 10.5. Borak, you're up next.
I'm not confident about this spread. I
wasn't
just
either, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, I just think this is too many points, and I do think that in garbage time, Denver could put up some points to backdoor cover this, but I do love the Chiefs to win this game, so I'm going to take the Chiefs money line.
All right, we got a money line pick from Borak. We'll talk about the buying the points and talk about that at the end if we are all Kansas City. Let's go, Luke.
Interdivisional matchup on a Thursday night, short week for both teams. I like Kansas City, do not like the points, so I'll take Kansas City money line.
We got 2 money line picks on Kansas City, and of course, if you've watched before, you know that if we are starting to get close, Here's rising on that BCMG guarantee parlay pick. So, Chris, who do you have in this game?
I don't know. What's the spread again? Because I'm looking at it.
10.5.
I look at Chiefs. It's always Denver. There's always some wonky crap that goes on. I guess I'll take the Chiefs, but you know what? I'm just terrified. All of a sudden, Denver's going to get like a late touchdown, then, a field goal. The next thing you know, it's going to be like only a 7-point win, and they're going to screw me. So, I'm taking Kansas City.
All right, Kansas City. Sounds like Kansas City money line, because you don't feel good about the spread, huh?
Yeah. I don't feel good about the spread, but Denver is just so god awful right now.
You could talk me down to 6.5. Like that's where I would be comfortable.
Before we do that, though, let's make sure we officially announce that's the BCMG guarantee. Put your fingers in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Whether you're driving in your car, or you're sitting on the comfy couch just listening to today's episode. That is our first BCMG guarantee parlay pick, Kansas City money line. But it looks like we're buying up points here. I'm good at 6.5. Anybody else good with 6.5?
Yeah. I love 6.5.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
All right, we are entering Kansas City minus 6.5 on the BCMG guarantee parlay. And we will give you those odds at the end of tonight's episode. And if you're listening or you're waiting for the audio episode, you'll see that post Thursday morning. Let's move on to the next game. One game in, and we already have a BCMG guarantee. That's not a good sign usually, but we're going to go through with it. Sunday morning, London football is going to be Tennessee colors. Tennessee versus Baltimore. Baltimore 4.5-point favorites over the pond. Baltimore definitely lackluster ending to last week's game. But Luke, we'll start you off. This is your division leader here, or your division opponent here. So Baltimore on the road technically, but it's really they're both on the road. Call this game first.
I think we know these games. They're very low-scoring games when you're traveling to London. They're always ugly. They're always one score. This high-flying Baltimore offense has yet to be seen. I want to put an APB out for Zay Flowers because I don't know where he's been all year.
All year?
All year, man. All year. Where's he been?
Uh-oh. I play in too many PPR leagues.
Where's he been, man? Like, he hasn't seen the end zone this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough. I think this might be a Mark Andrews game. They need to get him more involved. So I'm going to take Baltimore this week.
How do you like that spread?
Justin Tucker field goal to win by 3. So
Baltimore money
Tennessee.
line. All right, he likes Tennessee to cover, Baltimore to win. We'll go over to you, Chris Connor.
I'm going Baltimore all the way. I just think, God, Tennessee, I don't know how they're winning. That's not a good team in terms of offense. There's outside of Hopkins, there's no real skill position wide receiver. Derrick Henry is basically the one-man band. I think Baltimore gets it done. I think Lamar Jackson basically this time around just goes ape and I like them by at least 5 points.
All right, so he likes Baltimore minus 4.5 in this game. Shane.
Yeah, I'm taking Baltimore minus 4.5 as well. The Titans are really bad. I also don't know how they've won any games. Their secondary is not good. And I saw a stat on Twitter today that the Ravens or Lamar was 22 of 39 or something in the game for I can't remember. It was 268, something like that. And if they had caught everything and had not had 7 drops, he would have been 29 for I think 38 with 2 touchdowns. So I don't think the Ravens are going to drop the ball 7 times again. And I think they may come out with a little bit of a vengeance against this Tennessee team. I do worry. I forgot that it was in London when I originally picked this, so that does make me a little worried. But I still feel confident that Baltimore is going to come back raging from losing to the Steelers.
All right, here we go, Barrett.
Cue the spot. Baltimore Ravens are frauds.
Fraud.
Oh, my gosh.
So
we have the fraud word.
A fraud. A big fraud.
So I think Baltimore took a huge hit when it lost J.K. Dobbins. They cannot run the football effectively. And I think anytime when you're asking Lamar Jackson to throw the ball 30 plus times a game, that's a losing game script. I see Tennessee controlling the clock. These London games, as everybody said, are always just low scoring in the trenches. And I just see Tennessee just grinding out the clock in a late drive with DeAndre Hopkins making play after play after play to win the game with a field goal. So I will take Tennessee and give me the points plus 4.5.
Don't be surprised if you see Derrick Henry in black and purple by the end of the year. Just saying.
That would make so much sense, and that would catapult the Ravens.
Just
It's an
saying.
audition. That leaves it to me, and so we can get to game of the week. Tennessee money line. It's a Derrick Henry game. I'm going all the way. I'm writing it. I'm putting money line in my parlay. I know we're not going to have this in ours.
Yeah, we're not putting that.
I'm that confident. And no ITL override. No ITL override. This is a Derrick Henry game. It might even be 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm calling it right now. Going off. This is his welcome to 2023 moment. And then he gets traded to Baltimore.
Hot take there.
Just kidding. I don't think both of those things would happen, but who knows? All right, we are going to go to the game of the week, which was not our call, but theirs. Los Angeles Rams, 7-point favorites versus the Arizona Cardinals. And what we're going to call game of the week and where we're going to call spreads. I'll start this one off. Rams -7 is my pick for this game, although I am taking Arizona first half. I think they play well, so I would take Arizona in a first half parlay if that's your thing. But Rams ultimately close out on the hands of Cooper Kupp and the back and the legs of Kyren Williams. So I'll start things off there, and I'll go over to you first, Shane.
Why you got to do that to me, man? I'm going Rams to cover here. I think with Cooper Kupp back, the way Puka Nacua has been playing, the way Kyron's been playing, Stafford's healthy, I think that they can score as many points as they want to on Arizona, and they'll cover.
Definitely like that call. We're going 2 for 2 right here. Let's go over to Luke.
Yeah, no bright spots for the Arizona Cardinals. Josh Dobbs came back down to earth last week. No James Conner for the foreseeable future. So that means no running game for them. So I'll have to take the Rams, who are actually healthy. for the first time in 6 weeks. So I'll take the Rams and the points. That's fine.
3 Rams, and we're warming up for the BCMG Guaranteed Parlay. Chris Borak.
Yeah, I do love the Rams in this game. It just scares me. It's a divisional game, and Arizona does play well, and they keep games close, as the Cowboys know.
We do.
So the 7 points scares me. If it
Wasn't
was
that
6.5, I would be more comfortable. So
So
I'm gonna go the Rams money line.
I don't know if it matters. Where did
If it was 6.5, I would take the points, but 7.
Well, we could
scares
definitely
me.
talk that on the points for the guarantee.
was
Chris
7.
Connor, where
I-
go ahead.
I'm going Rams, and I had to cover. I mean, James Conner was basically that offense. It was a lot of running, a lot of power running, but without him, they really. I mean, and the last 2 games they've been getting blown out. I mean, San Francisco was not close. Cincinnati really wasn't close. I'm sorry. I think this is the Rams. Run away with it after basically a competitive first half, and then the Rams poured on.
So officially, if you're listening and if you're watching, put your fingers in the air and wave them like you just don't care. That is a BCMG. That is right. Wave those fingers in the air. Los Angeles Rams money line so far.
Except
Are we
for
saying
Borak.
6.5? Are we saying 6.5?
Yeah, I like them at 6.5. I just don't like the 7.
Are we all good with that on the call?
Yeah.
All right. Kansas City minus 6.5. Los Angeles Rams minus 6.5. And that takes us to Sunday night. Sunday night football is going to be the wonderful Buffalo Bills, 14-point favorites versus whoever's playing quarterback and the New York Giants this week. And another potential Kirk Cousins landing spot. Here we go, right? We have Buffalo, who has been very roller coastery in their performances so far this year on offense. And then you have the Giants, who've just been bad. 14 points is a lot. That's a double-digit spread we usually stay away from. But we'll start this one off with you, Chris Connor. What do you like in this game, and what's the spread?
I don't know. Give me the spread again. What is it?
14 points, 2 touchdowns.
Jeez. You know what? I'm good. I'm taking the Dolphins because it's Carolina Panthers. It is just
Buffalo, New
wrong
York.
it's Buffalo. All right. So I was looking at the 14 points. I'm like, wait a minute here. All right.
You're good.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far here. I like the Bills to win. Matt Milano being out scares me. That defense, and it's just I think the Giants have enough pride where we're gonna make it close. I like the Buffalo win, but by 10, not 14.
All right, we have a request of 10, but we'll start off Buffalo money line on this pick. Shane.
I'm definitely picking Buffalo. It's way too easy. Yeah, give me the 14.
All right, he likes the spread. He's living dangerously right now.
I was trying to look up what the Bills' record after a loss is, because if I remember correctly, they're pretty good after a loss, and with them losing in London against the Jags, coming back to the States, I think they're going to win the battle in New York.
All right, battle New York going to the Buffalo Bills. Luke.
So, yes, the Buffalo Bills should absolutely win this game. But it's the NFL, guys. It's the NFL. They're not going to let them lose by 14. It's just not going to happen. They will absolutely win, but they're not covering 14. Not a shot.
Buffalo money, do you have a number you feel comfortable with? Think about it. Hold it. Just think about it for now.
I'll think about it.
Think about it.
I'm taking Buffalo, and I'm taking them to win by more than 14 because the talent difference is just way too big for me.
I get it. 100%.
It's nasty.
100% I get it. I do.
I
But
think the Giants just get in their own way.
No Tre'Davious White, no Matt Milano. Like, they should absolutely win this game. No doubt. but they're not going to lose by more than 14 points. I don't know. This is a trap of a trap of a trap. Coming back from London after a loss they shouldn't have had over in London. Like, this is a trap for bettors. A huge trap.
All right, Borak, talk to me. What you got?
Okay, definitely got Buffalo. Ernest, these spreads are horrible this week. Like, I don't know where you find these numbers. I'm comfortable at 12.5. I feel like I'm becoming the conservative one on the show.
Yeah, I know you are. You're the voice of reason right now.
I'm channeling Kenny right now.
We have 10 on the table, so we have to go down to 10. Luke, are you at 10 or you need to go lower on our BCMG guarantee?
I was at 10.5.
Okay, so we'll do Buffalo minus 10 for the
10.5
for the BCMG parlay. Which, of course, if you're listening, that means the air and wave them like you just don't care. Just don't hit that car in front of you, and be careful. The remote's going to switch if you don't get off it. Buffalo minus 10 enters the parlay. Kansas City minus 6.5. Rams minus 6.5. Bills minus 10. That takes us to the wonderful Monday night football game in Los Angeles. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, minus 2 points on the road. We'll start this one off with Borak. Borak, go ahead and kill it.
Oh, I can't wait for this game. The Kellen Moore revenge game. I am taking the Chargers money line because
I knew you would.
I think Dak comes up short when it matters the most in the fourth quarter, and I think this is going to be a shootout. And I see Dak throwing a late game interception, and the Chargers take this one.
Oh, Luke.
The battle of the two biggest fraud coaching staffs of America. I mean, they might as well just have a pillow fight out there in LA. I mean, shit. One can't get the lead, the other one can't hold it. So holy fuck. I mean, I don't know how to bet this one.
It's a 3-3 tie.
Man, I would go for the tie. I'd pull a Kenny Carter right now. I'd
Put
pull
some
a tie.
$10 on that, yeah.
Absolutely.
No
I think Dallas will play for the first 3 quarters, and then the Chargers will come and play the fourth quarter. So I think it's a 14-12.
Ew.
Chargers win.
That's disgusting. Chris Connor.
I know that Borat said revenge of Kellen Moore. I'm playing conspiracy theory here. Just because they do that with politics, do that pro wrestling, I'm doing it football. I think Kellen Moore is going to somehow sabotage this game so that he can get the head coach of the Chargers fired so he can take over, because that team is loaded with talent and they keep screwing up. So I'm going Cowboys with the money because I want to see somebody. I want to see just the Chargers coach at the end. I keep forgetting his name, but just have a
Brandon Staley.
Yes, I want to see Brandon Staley have a nutty during the post-game press conference again. Just so that the Chargers realize, okay, we got to move on. We got to get a coach who actually does not take advice from a computer on how to run a game.
Yeah, and it should have been Sean Payton. It should have been fucking Sean Payton, okay? It shouldn't have been Brandon Staley.
Should have fired Staley last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Staley is the biggest fraud of a coach in the NFL right now.
Preach it, Shane. Who's taking this game, too, while you're at it?
It's Dallas. Because here's what's going to happen. It's going to be 24-21 Dallas. The Chargers are going to get the ball with 2 minutes on the 20-yard line. They're going to go to the 40 of Dallas. It's going to be 4th and 2 with 30 seconds left. And Brandon Staley's dumbass is going to go for it like he always does. And Micah Parsons is going to sack Justin Herbert. Cowboys are going to then take a knee and win the game.
Give me a hell yeah.
See, I thought it was going to be more of a he's going to hold on to his 3 timeouts and completely forget he has them because he never fucking uses them, and then the clock runs out. That's what I thought. but I can see that too.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. Dallas Cowboys beat bad defenses, and the Dallas Cowboys will win against the Chargers. So give me Dallas. I'd even take 6.5 on this game, but I'll take -2. So Dallas -2 in this game. This is not a BCMG parlay for those following along. So, and it's not going to be a part of anybody's parlay besides mine this weekend. And that's because I don't worry about any other teams besides San Francisco and Philadelphia to beat my team. So we'll move on from that.
And
That
Arizona.
is it for primetime pick'em. I don't call fluke games. And so after primetime pick'em is fire round picks, and we are going to have a short break. Do you know what BCMG is? Well, last year we had our hashtag Better Together when BCMG reformulated and brought streamers, content creators, and shows all together. This year we are hashtag Level Up, but we don't have that new video yet. Mark, that's a call out. We need to make sure that video is updated. But check out this short commercial break, and we're going to be right back with some of the action from our fire round picks. We just do one-liners. Who is going to be our pick? And we move on game to game to game for the rest of it. All money line picks if you haven't been following along. So check it out.
Happy Thursday, y'all. Happy Thursday.
I'm your host, Andrew Kahn. This is the Boomtown Pod.
Add into the lap pod is where you're watching today's stream.
Stuck him!
It is Blue Collar Game Day. I am your host.
Oh my god, I got a kill!
Yeah! Welcome to episode 277 of the Official Butthole Podcast. Got him.
Beautiful.
Better together.
Better together.
We're better together.
Better together.
Better together.
Special shout out to all of our sponsors, and we're going to go right into fire round picks. Cue it. All right, round number 3, ITL's fire round picks. We're going to go game to game and pick the money line winners. We start off in Houston. Houston versus the Saints. Saints 1.5 point favorites. Borak.
Give me my Texans. I don't feel good about it, though.
Luke.
No Olave for me, so I'm going to go with Houston.
Chris Connor.
I'm going to New Orleans. I'm sorry. That front four scares me, and I think C.J. Stroud's going to take a beating again.
Shane.
Houston, and I feel good about it, Chris Borak.
I appreciate it. You know how it is betting with your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I explain last weekend? I got Houston in this one as well. Make me feel better. All right. Next one. We go to Chicago. Chicago. Winners of 1 so far. Chicago versus Minnesota. Minnesota -2.5 on the road without Justin Jefferson. We start with you, Shane.
Chicago.
Borak.
Yeah, Chicago. I think the Vikings are going to be a mess without Jefferson.
Chris Connor.
The Bears.
We got 3 Bears picks on here. Luke.
Oh, fuck. Am I really about to say this? Oh, my God. Bears, because apparently without Chase Claypool, Justin Fields turns into Patrick Mahomes. So I guess give me the Bears.
It's nasty, but we're doing it. Money line.
That's so gross.
Oh, wow, that is gross.
I should have took one for the team.
You should have taken that.
Let me just throw this out quickly. Imagine next year, though, Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore of the same team.
It's beautiful. And Caleb Williams.
Just stop winning. Do not win. Do not win, Chicago. Just don't win.
No, they can still get. They have Carolina's #1 pick. People forget that.
So get the first and second pick. Draft Caleb Williams and
he won't come
Marvin
out
Harrison, and we'll be good.
Caleb won't come out for them.
I don't know.
He said
that we'll talk about that later.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Just for those in the record, Coach Peanut has gone Houston and Chicago in his picks. Now we go to his Browns. Cleveland versus San Francisco. San Francisco is only -5.5 on the road. We'll start this one off with you, Chris Connor.
This is gonna be a curb stomp, and this is San Francisco all the way. You could put. I can't believe I was saying this. The backup quarterback in for San Francisco, the former Jets quarterback, and they still would curb stomp the Browns.
All right, first San Fran pick, Shane.
San Fran. I don't care if it's Watson or DTR. It's San Fran here.
All right, Luke.
This is a trap. This is the biggest trap ever. It absolutely is. Borak, you can't convince me otherwise. This is people are going to get burnt on this so bad. They are. Absolutely, they are. Yeah, but give me the San Francisco 49ers.
Niners money line going on a hot streak here. Chances of making the parlay. Borak.
It absolutely meets the definition of a trap, but did you see that 49ers team? There is no way.
Listen, Borak, I agree, but
There's no
it's the
way.
same thing with the Giants game. This is a betting trap if I ever saw it. After they put all the effort into Dallas last week. They did.
This is a stone cold lead pipe lock. 5.5 is a gift. Put it on everybody's parlay. 49ers.
Niners money line enters the BCMG parlay, which is, if you all know, you should be already doing is waving those fingers in the air like waving like you just don't care. That's right, the BCMG parlay. Oh, other hand, there we go. All right, wave them in the air, and we'll do it just for y'all on the radio.
Take
right, we have. You should put -5.5. We don't do that for fire round, but I will have an alternate parlay where I do put 5.5 in the BCMG guarantee. You just can't go to Steve the General Reisner when you lose to get your money back. All right, Jacksonville -4 versus Indy in a game where we're not sure who's playing quarterback for Indy. I'll start this one off. I have Jacksonville winning this game, and if you're playing spreads on this, I take the spread also. Borak.
Man, this game scares me. This is another divisional game. If Richardson was playing, I would probably take the Colts, but he's not.
Same.
So I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
Although, wait a second. This is Minshew revenge.
It is, but come on now. I'm still taking Jacksonville.
I'm coming back to my pick. Luke. Luke, who you got?
Oh, give me the Jets.
Connor.
I'm taking Indy. I have faith in Gardner Minshew, and you know what? It's Jacksonville. I can never pick Jacksonville because they're run by idiots. So, yes, I'm taking the Colts.
Shane.
I had to go get a prop for this one.
Oh, look at that.
Can't see it because my background, but that is a Trevor Lawrence. It's actually a shirt, not a jersey. Give me Jacksonville.
He's all in.
And I'm taking the spread.
There we go. I'm keeping my pick. I'm taking Jacksonville as well, and to cover if you're covering this game. So Jacksonville gets a 4-1 nod from our group, and that takes us over to Atlanta, 2.5-point favorites at home versus Washington. Chris Connor.
As I said, this is some of these games. I'm just looking at the spreads and going, "Oh my God, why?" And I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm taking the Falcons. God damn it!
Wow. Atlanta gets the first bid from Chris Connor. Shane.
I'm sticking with my boy Sam Howell here. Give me the Commanders.
We have a 1-1 split going into this. Borak.
I want to take the Commanders so bad, but the Falcons just win ugly ass games, and that's Arthur Smith's specialty. So I'm going with the Falcons at home.
Atlanta 2-1 going into Luke.
Yeah, Atlanta gets the dub. I think Ron Rivera stays in Atlanta. I don't think he gets a flight back. I think he's done.
Ouch.
So I think he's done. So give me the Falcons at home. Somebody has to win.
Last time that Ron Rivera had a winning record without Cam Newton.
Yeah. Wow. I am so conflicted on this.
Ever?
Okay, I'm going Washington for the upset. I say Washington takes this game. It's one of those games that's going to be ugly, but I think the defense trumps the offense. So I'm taking Washington. in this game. Let's move on. Miami's the next pick here. Miami minus 13.5 against those Carolina Panthers. That's a big spread. Luke.
Divisional game. I can't lay double digits in a divisional game. I don't care how good
It's not divisional.
looks.
Nope.
Oh shit! I fucking read that completely wrong. Jesus.
It's all right. It's late.
Golly.
Fucking
Still,
Dolphins by 4.
Dolphins. Ugh.
I think he said the Panthers by 4.
I think that Miami wins.
Is anybody
Miami.
going Carolina on the call?
No.
Like, seriously.
I thought about it just to troll Chris Connor, but I'm not going to.
That's right. Wave your fingers in the air. Wave them like you just don't care. We're moving on to our next game. Cincinnati minus 3 versus Seattle. This is going to be a really good game. It's a tale of two tapes here, and Seattle coming off the bye. We'll go with you, Barrett.
Oh, this game is just. I don't know who to pick. I actually have my spreadsheet blank on this one. But I think I'm gonna go with Cincy to win this one. I think Burrow showed enough to get it done. And I don't think Seahawks secondary can handle Chase.
All right, Cincy gets the first bid here, Shane.
Cincy for me as well. To Borak's point, I don't know if this was for last week or this week, but their depth, the Seahawks depth in the cornerback room is struggling right now with injuries. So give me Cincy.
2 Cincy picks. We go to Luke.
Yeah, give me Cincinnati. The script's out. It's time to start giving them some wins. So start on the Bengals train now.
Cincy is warming up another parlay pick here. Chris Connor.
Yeah, I mean, if this is in Seattle, I'd take Seattle in a heartbeat. They, teams like this never do well over, all the way to East Coast, or even Midwestern East Coast. So yeah, give me Cincy.
There we go. Put those fingers in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Just be careful who's around you. That is right.
Yeah.
Waving those fingers. It has been a long day waving these fingers, guys. We're going to go over all of our picks after these last 3 games. Let's take ourselves, like we are next week, to Vegas. Las Vegas Raiders going up against the New England Patriots. I'll start this one off with you, Chris Connor.
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm just thinking, if the Raiders blow out the Patriots like another 38-0, does Bill Belichick at that point just go, fuck it, I'm out of here, I quit, I resign and protest? It's going to be another blowout. It's going to be another Raiders. I'm taking the Raiders with points just because, God, the Patriots are awful. They are a basically incompetent team. You never thought you'd see that in the Belichick, but they're an incompetent team.
With that being said, put your fingers in the air and wave them like you just don't care. The Las Vegas money line has entered this. I might even be good to go spread on this because 3 is not a lot. And
yeah, I mean, Max Crosby might have 6 sacks.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's move on to the next game. That's in New York. The Jets versus Philadelphia. Philadelphia's 7-point favorites on the road. We'll start this one off with Luke.
That secondary for Philadelphia scares me. That they're still very young, but I don't think Zach Wilson's gonna expose them. So give me Philadelphia.
All right, Philadelphia getting the first pick. Let's go over to Chris Connor.
Jalen Carter is going to do just horrible things to poor Zach Wilson. I mean, I think that this might be like a huge blowout, just because if Zach Wilson gets injured, who the hell are they going to put in at quarterback?
Trevor Siemian.
Scott Tolzien. Dig him up.
Yikes. There we go. We got 2 picks for Philadelphia. Shane.
Come back to me in 3 seconds.
All right. I'm taking Philadelphia by a landslide myself. I know for a lot of people, they think it's going to be closer. I don't. I think this is over at halftime. Borak.
Yeah, I think the same. Eagles got their passing game rolling. I don't see the Jets scoring enough points to keep up with them.
It's not close to me. Shane.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles as well. I was looking to see if Nakobe Dean was coming back for the Eagles yet, because that just adds another piece to that defense.
All
And he
right,
has been
Philadelphia.
designated to return.
Beautiful. Philadelphia gets added to the parlay. There we go. There we go. Final game of the night, final segment. A big thank you to everybody who watched the entire time. Those listening, appreciate your support. And of course, you'll find us here same time next week. Here we go. Probably going to be game of the week. I didn't even pick a snoozer of the week. Doesn't even matter. Tampa Bay versus Detroit. Detroit 3-point favorites on the road. And we'll start this one off with Shane. Shane, thank you again for today and being a part of today's pick'em, but you have the honors of being the first pick on the last game.
I greatly appreciate the invite. I had a ton of fun. I am sticking with my boy Baker here and going with the Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay gets the first nod here on the last game of the ITL Pick'em Fire Round segment. Luke?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great test for what Ben Johnson and them are trying to do in Detroit. Can they go on the road in a hostile environment and win a football game there? I'm going to put it in Goff's hands, and I'm going to put it in newly fresh out of suspension Jameson Williams' hands, and I'm going to go with Detroit.
There you go. We got a 1-1 going to Borak.
Yeah, I do think this is going to be a good game. And I don't think Baker has gotten enough credit for this year. I do think the Lions will be able to pull this one out. I think they're going to be able to control the clock, and I think they get Amon-Ra back, which is a huge lift. So I'm going to take the Lions to, I think they win this by 3 or 4. It's a close game.
Chris Connor, thank you again also for being on tonight's show and being a part of a regular routine segment on this show. You got this last guest call here.
I feel honored and thank you. It's been a pleasure having you guys, working with you guys here. I'm sorry. I just think I want to believe in Baker, but I think this is the game where Aaron Hutchinson just basically makes him see ghosts. I think Detroit's a real team. And the only team they played that was a real team, Philly. They got spanked. So give me Detroit, with the points on the road.
Yep, I am also taking Detroit to win this game. Not going to discredit what Tampa Bay is doing. I just don't think they have the talent to compete with Detroit in depth. So I'm going to take Detroit to win this game. It's going to be a great football game. This is going to be a strategy game for both sides. And if Amon-Ra doesn't play, even more so, it's going to be a chess match. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in this game.
Is the criminally underused Jahmyr Gibbs back as well? Do we know?
Is Gibbs back officially? He's not back, according to my.
I don't think he's going to be back.
I think that's another factor as well.
Well, they don't use him anyway, so.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Well, guys, we're going to do our sign-offs. Tell the people where they can find your content, where they can find you. We'll start off with you, just Luke.
Yeah, thanks, Ernest, as always, for letting me on. Glad to be back this week. As you all know, it's National Suicide Awareness Month, Mental Health Awareness Month. Just remember, there's always links on Google. Call 988. There's a ton of information about, even if it's not you, if it's a family member, if it's somebody else that you need to have somebody looked at or talked to. You can always reach out to me on Twitter. Obviously, my handle is down below. I'll try to talk to you through as much as I possibly can. But always check on even your most happiest friends, guys. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's a serious issue in the United States. So, Ernest, pleasure as always, guys. Thanks for having me on. And go Steelers.
Of course, brother. Always appreciate the shout and appreciate you doing that PSA. That's wonderful, man. Thank you so much. Chris Borak, talk to the people.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I had a lot of fun talking sports with you guys. You can find me at Clutch City 52 on X or Twitter X, whatever we're calling it nowadays.
Twix.
And Twix. And appreciate the time. Hope good luck to everybody in their fantasy week. And you can hit me up at Twitter if you want to find me.
Sweet. All right, Chris Connor, tell the people where they can find your show.
Thanks for having me on once again, and especially in a week which has been in the real world just horrible, and hopefully things get better. It's been a pleasure having me on your guys' show. You can check me out on lastcallpodcast.com, or you can check me out Last Call WChris at X, or I'm even on Instagram and Facebook with Last Call Podcast.
Love it, and love this show. I really endorse the Last Call podcast. Been a big fan. Been on this show a few times now. So go check out his content, and of course, you'll need to check out Shane's content as well. Shane, the guest pick for this week, maybe a reoccurring guest in the future. I think you'd be wonderful on the show. But Shane Barrett, everybody, congratulations on going through ITL again this season. Talk to the people where they can find you.
Yeah, thanks again for having me on. Had a blast and will happily come on again if you need me. You can follow me on Twitter, X, whatever you call it, at FF Shane B. My show is at FFRZ Redemption. It's on all your podcast platforms. And then I am also a ranker at rotoheat.com for fantasy football. And then Polly's Playoff, again, always try to shut that out. It is a tournament to end Alzheimer's. Signups usually start for the next year around the Super Bowl.
Love it. Also participating in that and huge supporter of what Shane is doing. Go check out his content. Great stuff. I appreciate all y'all. I'm your host, Ernest Doc E. Silva. This was the Interlap podcast. It was a long one, guys, but it was great content. You'll see this come out Thursday morning. Look at the odds of what the BCMG guarantee is going to be. This week may be the one that hits. I have that feeling. Kansas City -6.5, Los Angeles Rams -6.5, Buffalo -10, and then we do Moneyline Central, Chicago, San Francisco, Miami, Vegas, Philadelphia. That parlay is going to be juicy. We'll put out those odds when we release the podcast episode Thursday morning. Shout out to BCMG and all of our sponsors. Thank you, guys. Good luck in fantasy football and good luck with your bets this week. Have a great night.